Hello again. All right, so yesterday we talked about the five different ways we can express our needs in terms of preferences, priority. And I really thought that we should take them one by one and find out what each of them really mean, right? And I said that the brain is one of my favorite parts and, characteristics in terms of number one for me, right? So the brain really is complicated. It's a complex organ, right? And when I say that we're all crazy, I know people get upset when I say that sometimes, but I really mean that we are different. We have different temperaments, emotions, anger, or lack of anger. The one that scares me the most is the psychopath that really, really doesn't have any emotion, right? So when the brain is not healthy, that's when we get into trouble. So even though I say we're crazy, there's mild crazy, moderate, severe, extremely severe, and way out there severe, right? And when we're trying to identify health, we have to be honest with ourselves and figure out, all right, am I mild crazy, moderate crazy, severe crazy, very severe crazy? It doesn't matter what you are. The most important thing is to try and get you to come back to as mild crazy as possible. Yep, as much as you can. There is no normal. Again, these are my views. I am not here as a specialist or expert on the brain. I'm here more as my personal opinion as to my experiences, what I've seen, that we all have crazy brains. Remember that. Very crazy brains, right? And when we accept that our brains are crazy, we can actually start to help it, right? How do we get our brain healthy for our sexual wellness, right? The first thing is to identify that our brains are, not healthy. Now, I'll give you a personal experience. I tend to be very strict in the office, right? As a physician, I expect things to be done to benefit the patient. Then when I go out, if I take someone out for drinks, take someone out for dinner, staff, someone's birthday, I'll find that they are telling me that I am completely different. I tend to be very, very relaxed and fun loving and sort of just not myself in terms of compared to the office. And I really, really don't understand that, right? Because I'm thinking when it's time to play, you play. When it's time to be serious, you be serious, right? You go to work, it's work, you play, you play. So I really do believe that it is important to take that time to adjust that domineering, strict business personality and the, chilled, relaxed, out of the office person that is me sometimes. And it can be confusing. Initially, I thought I was fine. It's their fault. But then I realized, hey, you've got to understand, Kathy, that when you're in the office and you're business-like, it can be a little bit too strict for some people. Even my patients might complain about that. But you've got to understand that wherever you are, it really has to be you at your best. So even though I'm strict in the office, I still have to smile. I still have to be very uppity and more positive. Not, all right, this is work time, no nonsense, right? So I've chilled and I've relaxed and I've been able to calmly assess that it's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. So now I'm like, all right, no matter what, hey, keep it going. Let's keep it going. Keep the peace, right? Good energy. That's what I really want. And I want you to have the same thing. Great energy all the time. Being the best person you can be. Because without that, you're not going to attract your partner, right? You're going to actually detract, turn off your partner. And when you turn off your partner, you're going to be alone. And you don't want to be alone, right? Nobody wants to be alone. So I can go deep into the brain, and I can go deeper into your brain and ask you, how healthy is your brain? Do you get very angry? Do you get very sad? Do you get moody? Do you say things you shouldn't say? Are you rude? Do you swear all the time? And I tend to swear quite a few times. But again, inappropriately swear, right? Do you have any medical issues? Do you have any problems processing ideas? Do you have, problems focusing, right? And even that focus, there's mild, moderate, severe. So whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is, all have something, right? Do you have depression? Do you have anxiety? I hear, though, that when you are making love to a crazy person, it is the best thing in the world, okay? All right, that's what I'm told. I haven't done that yet. I'm not sure if that's on my bucket list, but we'll see. I'm really, really surprised when people tell me that sex with someone that is very crazy, in either a bipolar episode, mania, or anxiety, or even schizophrenia. I hear that it is pretty intense. Now, I'm not approving this, guys. I'm not saying go and do it, right? Please don't. Not healthy, but you have got, brain healthy, but you've got to be aware that if your partner is in the bedroom hypersexual and just fantastic, it's a good thing to make sure that if there's a contrast between that and the person outside of the bedroom. Let's say, like I said, in my case, I'm different. In their case, let's say that they are depressed versus very happy in the bedroom, then you've got to be careful and see that the person might need some help to bring them back to mild, right? Because you don't want it to be too much over the top. So the brain health, right, goes a long way in terms of so many different directions. Are you smiling all the time, right? Are you sad all the time? Do you even care about your partner? Do you care about yourself? Do you want to look good, right? I'm big into grooming. Sadly, there are people born with brains that are broken, right? The broken brain. And the environment, right? Not only genetics, but the environment can also cause your brain to break, right? Smoking, right? A lot of smoking. Again, each person has their own reason for it, and not every smoker has a broken brain, right? So I mean more of look into your life and see what's damaging your brain. Is it alcohol? Is it drugs, right? We do not want drugs to damage the brain, because when the brain is damaged, it's permanent. We do not want to wake up and not be able to remember things, right? That's the worst thing, I think, right? Leading to dementia, right? So we don't want to have that experience where your brain is not able to have you experience the best orgasm of your life, which is connected to the brain, right? So when the brain is happy and the brain is stimulated and it makes those hormones, testosterone, the number one in terms of libido, in terms of desire, it's so important to be able to produce that. If you have trauma to the brain, if you're a boxer, if you're even a policeman and you've been hit in the brain so many times, a wrestler, and your brain cannot make testosterone, you not get that desire built up, right? PTSDers, right? You really want to be able to identify what that issue is, and always have your hormones checked to make sure that you are not suffering from low testosterone, low T, right? And if you are, please do get that addressed by the appropriate physician or your appropriate provider. But the brain is something that can make or break a relationship, and you'll be surprised that people hide who they are, right? The psychopath, again, is one of the most scary people in the world, right? The person that hides their emotion, that actually have emotions, but you think they have emotions, so they're pretending, right? So you've got to understand the narcissist, right? You have to understand the person that is actually too much of a giver, right? You give too much, that can be wrong. You have to know when to give, right? Giving is a great thing that you're giving when you're broke and you don't have sleep, right? Or you give somebody your car, or you give somebody your place to sleep and you don't have a place to sleep. You've got to remember there's balance in life. And when you're not balanced, it's important to address it. I remember I had a patient that was hallucinating, hearing things and seeing things, and that person thought it was a gift. They were a psychic, and I know that psychics, true psychics, right, are different from the person having a psychiatric meltdown. So again, knowing the difference is important. Um, Dreams, the brain's in charge of dreams. Do you interpret your dreams? You know that they have a meaning. What's the meaning? Again, the brain does all these things that will affect your life and affect your communication and your interaction with other people that you love. And you really have to be aware that your impact on your partner in terms of your brain is immense. So you have to sort of, take care of your brain, make sure that you get tested if you have to get tested, see the psychiatrist, see the therapist, get an evaluation to make sure that you're not over the top. Because again, if you are, you want to come back towards the mild form of crazy. And again, I'll say it again, yes, we are all crazy. I will scream it from the mountaintops. We're all crazy. The question is, what degree of crazy do you have? Is it mild crazy? Very severe crazy. We need to get you into the hospital right now, crazy. If you are, please get help. There's the hotline for those that have suicide. The suicide hotline. Please reach out and call them if you have any issues, any psychiatric meltdown, any breakdown, any questions, any concerns. Yes, reach out to your psychiatrist. Call 911. Call the hotline. Please get help, because the brain is so fragile and so precious that we must make sure that we take care of it. Okay, guys? All right, that's my favorite topic, the brain, right? Treasure it, treat it well, and make love, because the making of the love helps the brain have circulation and helps you enjoy, again, your partner and again, your life. Okay? All right, so just wanted to talk about that. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. I'll talk some more about what are the other traits that we talked about yesterday. Okay? Have a good night.